Alrighty, happy Sunday evening, everybody. I'm Anthony Carpino. Thanks so much for watching the stream. We're going to be talking about what we can expect for snow showers later on tonight and going through portions of tomorrow morning. And we do have a few more chances of winter weather on the way for the upcoming work week. So a lot to talk about as we head through the next several days. So if you guys have any questions about the forecast, you can always ask a question in the comments below, and I'll be able to pull it up here and we can walk through the forecast together. So any questions on the forecast, please let me know, and we're going to jump right into it. So let's get started with current radar. We do have a lot of rain and now even some snow showers that are starting to form, but the core of this system is still expected to pass well to our south. And if I zoom it out a little bit more, you can really just see how long of a stretch this is, even some severe weather going down. It looks like that actually just, there it is, right around the Orlando area. So severe thunderstorm warning there. So this stretches all the way down to Florida, and most of this will actually stay off to our south. So we are expecting a few fringe impacts as we move through tonight and tomorrow morning, and that will come in the way of some scattered snow showers. Take a closer look at radar, a little bit closer to home here. And where we do end up seeing some snow is through sections of New York City, as well as going through northern sections of New Jersey. So we can zoom in a little bit more. You can see some of those snow showers there, just starting to move in to Manhattan and then western sections of Long Island. And these snow showers are going to continue to kind of spin around off to the east as we head into, the next couple of hours. But most of this, like I've been mentioning, will actually stay off to our south there. So as we go through tonight, if you're in northern Connecticut, really not expecting much, if anything at all, in the way of snowfall. This is really going to be for southwestern Connecticut and for folks along the Connecticut shoreline. So let's take you through this hour by hour using future radar and satellite. So of course, we had some sunshine earlier today, and then we really saw the clouds take over later on this afternoon, and then as we went through portions of this evening. Going through tonight, we'll notice some scattered showers by 9 p.m. or so in southwestern Connecticut, some lighter snow showers at times. Things start to fill in a little bit more by midnight for southwestern Connecticut. But as you can see, the bulk of the snow is really expected for pretty much the 95 corridor. I would expect some flurries if you're south of 84, so like Danbury to Waterbury, and then kind of round that out to Middletown or so, and then point south. But the Hartford area, stretching up 91 to the Mass border and out into eastern, northeastern Connecticut, not expecting much in the way of snowfall there. So here you go, a coating to an inch for those highlighted in blue, and the lighter shading of blue there. And I really think the inch is going to be kind of confined further off to our southwest for extreme southwestern areas of the state. So not a lot of snow expected with this one. The trends have been continuing to, push everything further and further off to the south. So we shouldn't have a lot of impacts waking up tomorrow morning. A coating to an inch again for southern sections of Connecticut, and that should be about it. Now, as we go through the next few days, we're not done with the winter weather just yet. We do have a couple more days to keep an eye on, and that is going to be on Wednesday as well as on Friday. Now, I don't want to, I see some questions here. How's Torrington's weather for Tuesday and Thursday? So we'll keep an eye on Wednesday and Friday. But as far as Tuesday goes, I think there could be an isolated flurry or rain shower, especially for western Connecticut on Tuesday. But other than that, Tuesday will be in pretty decent shape. But we're also not going to be completely cold. Of course, we're coming off several weeks of cold weather, but we're starting to see that break apart, and that will make things interesting for us as we go forward. So a big contributor for what we're going to end up seeing weather-wise this week is going to be the jet stream. So you can see how that kind of sets up shop either right over Connecticut or just to our south toward the mid-Atlantic. So you have cold air locked away off to our north, and you have some warmer air that's locked currently off to our south. So warmer air confined down to the southeastern part of the country, and then colder air further off to the north. So with not a lot of cold air locked into place, we'll end up dealing with a mixture of rain, snow, and maybe a little bit of everything in between. So here's what we can expect temperature-wise the next several days. Tomorrow, back to near 40 degrees, just like what we saw today. We'll start to see a little bit of sunshine by Monday afternoon. We jump to near 45 on Tuesday. So a few little rain showers, not out of the question. Little system slides through, not expecting much there. But as you can see, going through the rest of this week, those temperatures are in the upper 30s to lower 40s. So not the best as far as accumulating snowfall goes for us. So that's why we're thinking going to be dealing with a little bit of a wintry mix, both Wednesday as well as going through portions of Friday and maybe even the portions of Saturday as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. But here's the latest as we go into the middle of the upcoming week. So we have two systems that are going to be forming along the jet stream. Remember that jet stream is the dividing line between our cold and warmer air, but it's also going to be like our conveyor belt. So it's going to be moving several systems in and out of New England by the middle and end of the upcoming week. So by the time we get to Wednesday, well, we're going to have a system on our doorstep there. Still thinking this is going to pass either right over Connecticut, which will end up mainly producing just plain old rainfall for us. So some scattered rain showers throughout the day. And then maybe if we get cold enough Wednesday night and into early Thursday morning, we could have at times for some locations a bit of a wintry mix. But again, those temperatures are going to be on the warmer side. So it might be tough. We'll have to keep an eye on those temperatures as Wednesday gets closer. Likely seeing some snowfall, though, for northern New England. So for places like New Hampshire, as well as into areas of Vermont, upstate New York or northern New York, and then sections of Maine also with some snowfall there. All of that will clear by Thursday morning, and we'll be back to drier conditions for Thursday afternoon. But we have one more system that will move into the northeast as we head through Thursday night and into Friday morning. This time, the system could pass a little bit further to the south, so that we could be on the cooler side to this, and that could end up bringing either some snow or a wintry mix. That would be Friday in through Friday evening, and then maybe even continuing through sections of Saturday. Now, this is looking at the European forecast model. This favors the cooler temperatures a little bit more, and this tries to give us a more snow solution. I still think we would be more of that mixture. So kind of go halfway in between there. If we end up favoring more on the colder side, that would end up leading to some accumulating snow by the end of the upcoming work week. So that's worth keeping an eye on there. I've also seen some models that try to drag some of this out in through portions of Sunday. The European model tries to get rid of it Saturday night and throughout the day on Sunday. Now, the Euro does try to bring in an additional system as we head through Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, but that is now about a week out. So that is getting a little bit too far for any kind of specifics there. So there are a few things that are worth keeping an eye on as we go into the upcoming week. Of course, we got those snow showers tonight, mainly for southern Connecticut. Again, some folks maybe up to an inch at the most, but we're really not expecting that much in the way of impacts. Of course, you get a little accumulation on the roads there, and that could cause some slick conditions. But overall, I think we'll be in decent shape for President's Day tomorrow. We'll warm up a little bit more on Tuesday, and then, yes, we have some of that wintry mix that we'll be keeping an eye on both Wednesday night into early Thursday, and then Friday, and then maybe lasting through sections of Friday into Saturday. So worth keeping an eye on there. Is West Hartford going to be okay for tonight? Yeah, absolutely. I think if you have any outdoor plans for this evening, I think you're going to be in good shape there. And then for tomorrow morning, I think we could definitely see some flurries. But as far as accumulating snow goes, if you're in Hartford, West Hartford, even going into northwestern Connecticut and then cross the river the other way into eastern areas of the state, I think we'll be okay as far as the accumulating snow. I wouldn't, again, rule out some flurries later on tonight. But as far as accumulating snow sticking to the ground, likely mainly just for the southern half of Connecticut. So let's take a look outside right now over downtown Hartford. You can see not too bad of a night out there where we still have definitely clouds overhead, not too much of a wind, and there's still ice on the Connecticut River, although we've had a couple of days of those above average, above freezing temperatures, not quite above average yet. And that has allowed some melting out there, including some of that river ice as well. In fact, today we made it to 38 degrees in the Hartford area, 38, 39, 40 in Meriden, 41 Chester, Danbury, and about 40 in Groton and Stonington. So we had another day where we were below 40 degrees. And if we take a look at the last 30 days, the last month, there have only been 2 days that we've seen above average temperatures. Today, we were right on the money. We were right on where we were supposed to be for this time of the month, for mid-February. So we were exactly perfect there. But, you just go back to, the end of January, and you only had those 2 days, the 17th and the 22nd. So as far as what our streak is right now, 24 days where our afternoon temperatures have been below 40 degrees, at least at Bradley. Now, that will change as we go into the upcoming week. We'll introduce some warmer air. We're going to try tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll likely finally end that streak on Tuesday. So either 25 or 26 days of that streak. So that is just a long one for us, and we're due for some warmer weather there. So for tonight, again, a few snow showers, again, accumulating snow likely for areas along the Connecticut shoreline and then through sections of southwestern Connecticut, a coating to an inch at the most. We're really not expecting a lot there. Those temperatures are only going to be in the upper 20s to about 30 for the shore. So the snow that you do see will likely be a little bit heavier there. I'm not talking about a lot of snow, but that's something that you might notice once we wake up tomorrow morning. If there is snow on the ground for you, it'll be a little bit more wet. It'll be good snowball snow for sure. So a few snow showers waking up tomorrow morning, but all of this is gone by 8 or 9 a.m. So we don't have to deal with this throughout the entire day. For those that only see a coating, we warm up to near 40 by the afternoon. So we'll likely just see wet roadways as we warm back above freezing for tomorrow morning and then going through the afternoon. So I think we should be in good shape there. All right, let's get to some other questions here. When is the snow going to melt? We need the melting to start. We've melted a little bit, but there's just still a good snowpack out there, Ryan. So I would still give it. I still think even as we move through this week, by the end of this week, there still could be some snow on the ground. Now, if Wednesday we end up seeing more in the way of rain versus a wintry mix, that will definitely cut down on that snowpack there. But if we see some snow by Friday into Saturday going into next weekend now, well, that might kind of hold our snowpack where it is. So we will see some melting this week, continuing to melt that snowpack. But will the snow be completely gone? I think it might still be tough. So worth keeping an eye on there for sure. Yeah, for sure. I see rain in the forecast this week. Yep, so that will help with that snowpack there. And also bringing up a good point about the sun angle now getting a little bit higher. So the sun's becoming a little bit stronger for us. So that's helping us out a little bit more too to sort of melt some of that snow down a little bit. Afternoon temperatures for tomorrow, we'll just go through the rest of this here. 39 for tomorrow afternoon, near 40 along the shore. So the snow that we see tonight into tomorrow morning, I think most of that is melted away by the afternoon, since we're only expecting a coating to about an inch there. So here's that look at that 10-day forecast, what we can expect. A few snow showers waking up tomorrow morning. I have this for inland Connecticut, but I don't think we're really going to be talking about all that much in the way of accumulation for inland Connecticut. Again, 39 for the high tomorrow. We're back down into the 20s for Tuesday morning, and then lower 40s for Tuesday afternoon. Mostly cloudy. However, I still think we could have a little system, a little bit of energy try to swing through on Tuesday, and that might create an isolated shower too. I'll pull up another view here of the forecast going through tonight. You can see there's that chance for some snow showers there. We really see some sunshine trying to peek out as we move into Monday afternoon. Monday night, clearing out those skies, and then a few clouds. There comes that system that just quick swing through early Tuesday morning. So that's where we could possibly see maybe an isolated sprinkle by Tuesday morning there. And then we're in good shape going through Tuesday afternoon. This is actually something I haven't looked at yet. And now these models can go out a little bit further for us. So this is brand new. This is looking at Wednesday. And this is our in-house model. So this favors more of that mixed precipitation. So this particular model wants that colder solution. So cooler air at the surface, and we're mixing in some warmer air higher up. And that would create either some sleet and maybe some freezing rain through portions of Wednesday. And then as we head through Wednesday afternoon, we start to warm things up a little bit. So perhaps a change over to plain old rainfall. And you notice as I bring this all the way to the end, if I zoom this out a little bit more, you can actually see where all that snow is. So likely on the warmer side of that system for Wednesday. So still pretty high confidence in a wintry mix throughout the day on Wednesday with plain old snow a little bit further off to our north, maybe central Mass, and then going into northern New England. So we'll keep a close eye on Wednesday. That could be a little bit of a mess for us. But those temperatures are going to be very important as we head into Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. The timing of that system will also be very important for us. And then we'll, of course, keep an eye on Friday as well. Ryan says, Penguin Plunge in Middletown next Saturday. Maybe having to deal with some snow with that. A little too far out for sure. But there you go. Penguin Plunge. Hopefully it's not too cold. And if you're in Middletown, so that's the Connecticut River, maybe we'll have a little bit less ice on the river than what we have out there right now. Pretty incredible. The cold that we've had. Our snowfall isn't anything, extraordinary as far as when you compare that to where we should be or any records or anything like that. But the cold that has really created a lot of ice out there, I think is pretty interesting. You look just to our north, Lake Champlain in Vermont, New York, first time it is completely frozen over since 2019. So they've also seen some cold weather for sure in northern New England. And we also look out to the Great Lakes where Lake Erie either completely froze or was over 95% frozen. And if it did freeze completely, it was the first time it did that in about 30 years. So yeah, we're on the colder side of this system for sure. It is interesting though, when you take a look at what the western half of the country has seen, and they've been dealing with one of their warmest winters on record, which is just crazy to think because we've been just on the colder side. So there's been a sharp divide in the middle of the country, east versus west, and whichever side you're on has been completely opposite from the other. We've, of course, been on the colder side, and they have been on the warmer side for sure. So just pretty incredible stuff there. Let's go back to that 10-day forecast. I don't think I showed the shoreline. Let me make sure that you guys have a check of the forecast there too. But again, one more time, if you're just joining us here, not expecting that much in the way of snowfall as we head through tonight and into Monday morning. We're expecting accumulating snow likely along the Connecticut shoreline, especially in southwestern areas of the state. Fairfield County, I think, having the greatest chance for accumulating snow, a coating to an inch. We're really not talking about a lot of snowfall here, guys. Maybe one or two towns in southern sections of Fairfield County, possibly, and it might be a stretch, but possibly seeing a little bit more than an inch. So that's about it for our snowfall there. Again, we'll keep a close eye on that wintry mix for Wednesday and see how long that lasts into portions of Wednesday night into early Thursday there, and then Friday, and then into next weekend. And that's a very similar forecast for the shoreline. We will have some snow showers for you guys waking up tomorrow morning. All of that is gone by about 8 or 9 a.m. I think most of this is cleared out of here. And then by the time we get to Tuesday, our temperatures there, lower 40s, perhaps a little bit warmer than 41, but upper 30s return by Wednesday, likely rain just for the shoreline. And then we'll have to deal with that wintry mix for the interior. We'll have to see how warm we can actually warm things up and the timing of that system, of course. But also by Friday, that next system, that looks more like a wintry mix, even for the Connecticut shoreline. So that's worth kind of keeping an eye on for you guys as well. Ryan wants to know what happened to the 50s. Yes. We were talking about maybe a shot. I believe they were talking maybe a shot at the 50s for Tuesday. But everything just kind of slid further off to our south. So we just missed it there. Now, I will say, you take a look at the end of the forecast here. By Monday, Tuesday of the following week, we dip back down into the lower 30s. But I don't think that lasts for us as we continue on through the end of February. I think we'll have that chance to warm things up again as we head into the end of February and into early sections of March. So a brief cool down by the beginning of the following week. So not tomorrow to start, but The week after, we back down to the lower 30s there. And then I think it's brief and we warm things right back up. If I show you guys the inland forecast again, you can see those morning temperatures, again, not this Monday, Tuesday, but the following Monday, Tuesday, morning temperatures in the teens and 20s. I do believe that is going to be brief. I think by the end of the following week, we're going to start to see those temperatures climb back up. Quinn says close, but no heat wave. No heat wave, but it did feel pretty nice out there today. I will say when you factor in the sunshine that we saw for the first part of the day, it felt pretty nice out there. I had just a light jacket, and that's all I needed for today. So we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. We are expecting those above freezing conditions to continue for afternoon temperatures pretty much over the next 10 days. So we will have a little bit of melting every single day. But will it be enough to get rid of the snowpack completely? Don't think so. I think we're going to still hang on to that snowpack at least for the next 7 days. We'll have to see beyond that and what these systems this upcoming week, what they have to say about our snow chances there. So we'll keep a close eye on the snow chances for tonight. But again, I think minimal impact, some slick roads possible in southwestern Connecticut for tomorrow morning. We will be below freezing, of course, so that could cause some minor issues on the roadways. Of course, if you have to be out tomorrow morning early, just make sure you're going a little bit slower. Use some caution when you're out there on the roads, a little common sense. And then by the afternoon, I think we warm things up enough where most of that snow, I think, is just gone, but we still have that additional, that snowpack that we have out there right now. So keep an eye on that. And of course, by Wednesday, that potential for a wintry mix, that could be interesting. That could cause some slick conditions as well. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on for the upcoming week. And then even for next weekend with an additional system nearby. But that is going to do it for me here on Facebook Live as well as on YouTube. We're going to have another update on the forecast coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, right after prime time with the Olympics are wrapped up. So you can catch the latest on the forecast there. We're going to be back on air at 11 o'clock. Let me just double check that we don't have any other questions, any folks that may have come in a little bit late. Let's just see real quick here. How's it going? Hope we get some snow tonight. Well, if you're in southern Connecticut, I think you'll have that potential. But for everyone else, it's going to be a little bit of a slim chance there. And either way, we're really not talking about all that much in the way of snow as we head through tonight. But guys, that's going to do it for me here on Facebook Live. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the questions. Let me know what you guys are seeing out there tonight as well. Shoot me a message on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the whole 9 yards, all the social platforms there. Let me know what you guys are seeing out there tonight. And if you do see any accumulation snow by the morning, make sure you send us those photos. We love to see what you guys are seeing out there. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great night.